This is Section 4 of Chapter 2 of Gears of War Judgment. The declassified mission for this section will spawn nemesis that will attack your robot, which gets into sort of what the goal of this portion of the game is, and that's defending your robot. In the first section here, he's going to be opening a door, and you have to defend him during that, and then you just have to defend him walking across the courtyard. And right at the starting here, for this section, you can find a cog tag behind this table before any enemies show up, which is probably the best time to get it. And I would say these sequences, this section really doesn't have a lot in the way of strategy to it. It's pretty much just waves of enemies coming towards you.
I think we all knew that.
And you'll start out with just some wretches and drones here, and then eventually you start getting nemesis. And this section is really, really long, and you have a lot of time to rack up your 3 stars here. And you notice that the bot, it has a little health bar here. If you got the armor declassified mission before, it's actually about the same thing as that. And he has a lot of health, too. He has to take a lot of direct damage to actually end up dying. And you are much more likely to die defending him than he is to die while being defended by you. And once you make it up to here, the door, he'll go inside of that little room here to the right, and once he's in there, he's pretty hard to attack, and for the next few minutes, it's just taking out enemies.
Bot, help us out with the door.
What is it, little guy? Uh-huh. Something mean out there? Get ready to kill it.
Hey, that bot needs a hand!
They're hitting the bot.
I don't think so. Incoming frag! I needed that.
The hell? Hostiles!
Now, right when you come into this section, you'll be able to grab a boom shot. And you'll be defending the bot here again. And yeah, there's a boom shot. I chose to keep my breach shot for this, and right around the corner here, you'll be able to find a ranged sentinel. And you can grab this and just plop it down near the bot whenever he stops. And whenever he stops, that means enemies are about to spawn.
Coming in again. Get ready.
And the first thing you'll get are your Nemesis Wave, if you've done the declassified mission. And then after that, some more typical locusts will spawn out of the ground. And you will have to repeat this process a couple of times before you can get to the other side and all of the enemies are dead and stop spawning. It's also important to note here that the bot's health carries over between sections, and you can actually restore it to full if you just reload your game from the starting point. So if he gets down to low health and you just cleared a checkpoint, if you just go into your start menu and reload the checkpoint, or go back to the main menu and then reload that checkpoint, he'll be completely fine, normal, and healed once again.
That looks like all of them. It's back in protection mode, so protect it. Watch it! I know I said this before, but that looks like all of them.
This is section 5. The section's very short. And the declassified mission for this is just you can only use your snub pistol. And it's a little bit difficult to get your full 3 stars on this section. You've got to kill pretty much everything yourself that spawns here, and you've got to get good kills, get headshots, or melee or jib kills. And you're primarily fighting wretches here. Eventually a couple grinders and some normal locusts with guns spawn in, but not really a whole lot to threaten the bot all that much. And you can find the cog tag for this section right here. I reloaded this checkpoint, so I already have it, but it's right inside that doorway. And you can get this ranged sentinel here. It's not really all that useful, though. It's kind of a difficult one to set up and have it be really useful.
Hey, that bastard just hit our bot! You won!
And after all the enemies are dead here, you're basically done with this section. All you're doing is escorting the bot up to this point up here. And this is a tripwire crossbow. It's a new addition to Gears of War Judgment, and it's basically you shoot it against a wall, and it'll lay out a tripwire, and when an enemy passes that, it will shoot an explosive arrow into them. Honestly, they're kind of useless. They're only really good against weaker enemies. And even then, the actual firing mechanism can be a little funky. Now, that cog tag you saw me grab there is actually the cog tag, technically speaking, for the next section. And the next section of this point just continues directly on from there. And this is just sort of a long defensive holdout sequence. We're going to fight a few waves of enemies. You can see you have a few sentinels here you can set up. You have an Onyx ammo crate there for when your ammo gets low. And your best option for setting up is to just plop down a turret on each side coming up. I like to do the range turret on the right side and the Nasher turret on the left side. And that's your declassified mission here. It adds in corpsers and centipedes for your enemies. It doesn't really make it too much harder. The corpsers are a bit of a pain. Their AI is really strong, and they love burrowing underground where you can't hit them at all. And even though I said the crossbow here isn't really the best weapon in the world, it's better than nothing, and it doesn't take up a weapon slot, so you might as well just use all 4 of your arrows up. And there are a couple of different wave configurations you can get for the enemies here. If you took the declassified mission, you'll always start out with just one particular combination. And it's a little bit difficult. It's probably one of the more difficult defensive challenges here, just because the shape of the arena that you're in, and you get a lot of maulers, a lot of corpsers, and a lot of tickers. And the tickers are actually what are really a pain here. And if you can take out those before they make it up to your base, you're going to be in the clear pretty good. There's no real secret to fighting corpsers. They're pretty annoying to take on because they have that burrow attack where they can pop up and hurt you for a lot of damage. And they're very good at defending themselves, and they're very good at defending especially against the player if you're playing this single player. They like to turtle up and defend against you, and you basically can't shoot them when they do that. But they can attack you, and your AI tends not to be smart enough to attack them. So after the first wave, you'll have time to prepare for your second wave.
Gotta be more coming, Kilo.
And
Stay sharp and
this
stay
wave is a bit more direct than the last one. There's going to be a lot of Theron guards and a lot of Cantus. And I just kind of like sticking on this right side here and leaving the rest of it for your other teammates.
After you, little, flying guy.
Alright, now finally, once you've taken everybody out, you'll be good to go on the next section. And just remember, if you didn't get the cog tag in this mission yet, it's right next to the door that you were defending right there. I actually got it in the section just before this.